Jane. So how's it all going?
They keep trying to drown me.
Jolly good.
I'm getting out now, and I want you all back on the bus in 10 minutes.
Don't touch Jane.
Why don't you come in?
I leak.
One more won't make much difference.
I meant I leak inwards, not outwards. My skin is porous. That's why I never go out in the rain. I get waterlogged.
I thought I was the daft one.
Tom!
What?
Drown yourself.
No, I won't.
Pretend.
Oh, I will.
Harvey!
Help!
He's drowning!
Help!
God, that's selfish.
But where's Jane?
Jane! Just hang on, Tom. Jane will save you.
Save him yourself, you bloody pimp!
Yes, quick.
Lovely costume.
Why aren't you drowning?
Is that a new policy?
This is a Giorgio Armani.
Really? That's a Tom Ballard.
Right. That's it.
I must get out of here.
Diana,
What?
are you in?
No, I've gone down to the shops.
Oh, all right, I'll come back later.
I must get out of here. What do you want, Jane?
No, it's all right. I'll wait till you get back.
It is like living in Salvador Dali's dustbin. Jane, I am here. Come through.
Oh, you're back. That was quick.
Yes, I took the jet.
Nice. Where's Tom gone off to?
I believe he's renegotiating the 1918 Treaty of Versailles in order to avoid the Second World War.
Well, that sounds very constructive. It's pity you couldn't do something more useful, like stopping a war, instead of making fun of me all the time.
What do you want, Jane?
Harvey is very upset.
Oh, jolly good.
That suit cost him £500.
Oh, yes. And was that the £500 that he miraculously won on the new dialysis machine raffle? Or was it the £500 he has saved on catering since he started feeding us dead dog and tarmac stew every day?
Diana, you do him wrong. Harvey is a good, kind, honourable man.
He is a thieving little stoat with all the morality of a rabbit on an 1830 holiday.
His patience is not endless, you know. One day you'll push him too far.
That is the only thing that keeps me alive.
Anyway, he's decided to forgive you this last outrage if you agree to take part in his latest scheme.
Oh, my God, what is it this time? Not more wheelchair ballroom dancing.
That was very popular.
It was disastrous. During the Gay Gordons, 3 people lost a leg.
Oh, they did what?
conga line ended up wheeling out onto the M3. Twisted metal, blue tulle and sequins all over the place.
Very honourably motivated idea.
Nonsense. He was just trying to kill off all those people who still needed care. You wait. He'll have them strapped to their chairs and be dragging them off for compulsory skydiving.
He wants to bring in some young people.
Ah, I knew it. At last, he has worked out that the thing that makes an old people's place unprofitable is the old people. So, replace them with young people. Brilliant. Bring on the dancing accountants.
Have you finished?
Barely started.
He's had this wonderful idea that the reason old people feel old is the lack of young people around them.
No. That's what makes them feel happy. Most old people, at least this one, detest the young.
Harvey wants to bring in some students to sort of liven things up a bit, get you all to interrelate with the local community.
That was my idea.
Oh, hello, Tom. Is the war often?
War? What war?
The Second World War.
I thought they'd already had it.
Yes, but haven't you been in Versailles trying to rewrite the end of the First World War Treaty in order to stop the Second World War, which we've already had, and... I don't know, I seem to be getting a bit confused.
What is the matter with her?
It's a sexual frustration. If it doesn't find an outlet, it tends to back up her system, then she blows a fuse all over the place.
Diana, I am not sexually frustrated.
Oh, Harvey come up with the goods at last?
You mustn't speak to me like this.
Quite right, Jane. Diana, don't be mean to the poor girl.
Oh, thank you, Tom.
Was he any good? Is he a genuine brunette?
I'm going. There will be some students from the local polytechnic at lunch, and I hope you'll be nicer to them than you are to me.
Oh, Tom, what have you done? We don't want young people around here.
I like young people. I was young once.
No, you weren't. You were born age 65 with more wrinkles than an elephant's scrotum.
That's very charming.
So, what does Smarmy Chops want this time?
He says he wants to have a chat with us.
We're not having Tom home.
Oh, look, hitchhikers.
Run them over.
I think we'll be a little Christian today, dear.
Are you out of your mind?
Hi. Not going anywhere near Bayview Retirement Home, are you?
We're going right there. Hop in.
Thanks.
Murderous!
So very kind of you.
Most charming.
When they've killed you, I expect I'll be dragged off into the woods and have my clothes torn from me and...
Come on, little birdies. Come on.
That was one of the most blatantly malevolent acts I have ever seen.
Oh, I never get them. I'm just restructuring their image of the elderly. Oh, sweet old things.
No, some of us are right vicious old bats.
Precisely. Being unpleasant is not just the prerogative of the young. Got to learn the lesson.
But do you think that the average sparrow really comprehends the deeper complexities of that lesson?
Who cares?
As I thought, you really enjoy being nasty.
The monsters are here.
Oh, goodness, how the children have grown. It seemed like only yesterday they were 7 and 8, and here they are now, twice as old and twice as many.
Do shut up. They're not their children.
Oh, good. I thought I had mislaid the odd decade.
Harvey's young people come to interrelate with us.
Well, what does that mean?
Bore us to death.
What's Marion doing?
She seems to have fainted into the arms of that young man.
He's giving her the kiss of life.
Yes. She's supposed to kiss him back.
Silly me.
Have a seat.
Oh, it must have been the heat.
It's actually quite chilly, dear.
But it was something else then, wasn't it? I can't help it if I have a bit of a faint. Just as well that young man was there to catch me with his strong, young, rippling arms.
What's the problem this time?
Diana tried to kill me.
She didn't.
She got Tom to pretend to drown and she pushed me in. My Giorgio Armani has shrunk.
So's Jeffries years ago.
No, she's going to kill Tom one of these days.
Oh, good.
Shut up, Marion. What do you want us to do? We've tried every which way of getting rid of her, but she's still here.
We haven't tried moral grounds.
There is no morals clause in the residence contract.
Yes, but this land is gifted to us by the church, and as such we are bound to obey this, this book of guidelines for use of church land. Oh, look, it's in Old English. See here.
Whosoever shall reside on this land must not be a known fornicator, adulterer, or cattle thief.
God, what a boring place.
Diana is not a cattle thief.
No, not there. The final paragraph.
Nor must there be any behaviour on this land deemed corrupting in any way whatsoever. When were these things written? 1643?
Yes, but they're still perfectly valid.
You're out of your mind. This would never stand up in court today. You've let it get to you. This'll never work.
We do have 2 church commissioners on the board.
But Diana's not going to rush out and steal cattle.
No, but if she were caught corrupting someone, they'd have to throw her out. Some sort of young person.
I'm not sure I'm quite with this.
Oh, God, you're thick. He wants to catch Diana shacked up with some young buck stud. But you know, all chipped teeth and chains and greasy hair and biceps and leather jackets and... Oh, God. Oh.
Where on earth are you going to find someone like that?
So, there we all were in this railway carriage, the German High Command a bit down in the dumps.
Saying they just lost the war.
Right. Everyone was umming and erring when I came up with my master plan.
What, nuke the lot of them?
No, Diana. I was trying to prevent conflict.
Well, if you blow up the generals and the politicians, you would prevent conflict.
I suggested tiddlywinks.
Tiddlywinks?
Yes. Whenever there was conflict, the countries involved would send their best tiddlywinkers to fight it out in some convenient stadium like Wembley. Winner take all, like a title fight.
And what did they say to that?
They all made farty noises and threw me out. That's why we had the Second World War.
Yes, I'm sure it was.
Hey, Alice, you see that? Bob and Carol, this way. Tom, Diana, I brought some young people to meet you. Bob and Carol, Tom and Diana.
Ah, sweet bloom of youth.
Hello.
Delighted to meet you. Now, do sit down.
Oh, yes. Deirdre, would you get up for a moment? Thank you very much. Bob, have a seat. Bobby and Carol are doing social studies at the local polytechnic, so I'm sure you'll have lots to talk about. Well, away you go then. Chat, chat, chat. Teddy, Alice, come this way. This is
Well, isn't this fun?
Great fun. Isn't it fun, Diana?
No, it is not fun. Look, I've got nothing against either of you personally. I'm sure both you and your social studies are extremely worthy. But I have no desire to be part of anyone's project. Look, you are young. We are old. There are vast, unbridgeable chasms between us. And I have no intention of wasting my time being the subject of such blatant tokenism.
Oh,
Take no notice of her, Carol. She was weaned by wolves and eats brown glass sandwiches. She gives gangrene a good name and bites the heads off
Thank you,
hamsters.
Tom.
I'd heard she was a rather brilliant photographer.
Really? And where did you hear that?
I'm quite keen on photography myself. I've got your book, Postcards from Asia.
Hey. And how did you know it was me?
The picture on the back cover.
You recognized me from a 25-year-old photograph?
Well, you haven't changed much.
Tom, I'm sure these charming young people would love a glass of wine.
Great idea. Agnes?
They do a very nice Japanese burgundy. You whop it down quick, it only takes out your back teeth.
I'm sorry, Bob, but what do you mean?
What I said, I can't go through with it.
Why on earth not?
Diana is a nice lady.
No, she's not. She's a vicious old hatchet.
Look, you promised me a place here for my old gran when one became available.
Yeah, and she'll get one.
Well, then you told me about this really nasty lady who you wanted to get rid of and how I could be of help.
Right, so where's the problem?
I just can't do it. She's okay. I like her.
We are talking about Diana Trent.
Yes.
£500. Now that's an awfully long holiday on the sun-soaked beaches of Ibiza, and a happy haven for your granny in her twilight years. Ah, youth. Such fun to corrupt.
I was good, you know.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I'd forgotten that one. Dien Bien Phu.
Bless you.
In Vietnam.
Oh,
No one was allowed to enter, but I got in by seducing a helicopter pilot.
Not while he was driving it, I trust.
You know, Bob was right. I was still quite a looker in those days. 1967.
Great year, 1967. I was a hippie flower child, living on the west coast of Croydon.
Yes, of course you were. Mr. Easy Rider himself.
Right. I put on my shades. I kick-started the old Morris Minor and set off to find the true heart of America.
And where did you find it?
In a dusty gas station just south of Basingstoke. It was high noon. Oh, don't forsake me, oh, my darling.
For God's sake, will you stop mixing your movies? Give me a headache just trying to keep up with you.
You've got a headache because you banged down 2 bottles of that Chateau Kasawaki. You shouldn't drink, you know. There's nothing more grotesque than watching an old mud crab like yourself trying to behave like La Coquette.
I was not.
I saw you. He looked into your eyes and told you you were still a very attractive woman. And suddenly it was all chest out, stomach in, and flushing like 10 cisterns in a row.
Nonsense. I was just having an interesting conversation with a young man. I'm old enough to be his grandmother.
Exactly, yes. But some young men like older women, like that fellow in Psycho.
That was his mother, and she was dead.
Well, you're in with a chance then.
I find this exchange extremely tasteless. I was merely having a decent conversation with someone who was halfway alive. At least he wasn't telling me how he would have won the Crimean War.
I think he tickled your fancy.
Let's just drop it, shall we? Probably never see them again anyway. Got their own lives to lead. They've salved their consciences for a while. Won't even think about us again. Maybe in 50 years, when they wake up and find themselves in a place like this, some memory echo might let them recall us, who have long since passed to dust and been blown away on the winter wind, totally forgotten.
Oh, do cheer up.
I can't. I've got no reason to.
Hello? Anyone in?
Bob, come in.
Hi, Di.
Hi, Bob.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Lily.
Hi, Lily.
Hi, Lily. Hi, Lily. Hi-lo.
Take no notice. He's quite gaga.
That's me, Gaga McLoopy, at your service. Must be off. Never let it be said that I was Hamish the Gooseberry. Hawkeye the New, as they say in Cardiff.
And he was once a famous diplomat.
Yes, he caused the Second World War. So, what brings you round here then, Bob?
Well, I was just about to go for a bit of a walk. I was wondering if you might like to come with me.
A walk?
Yes, I'd love a chat.
Oh, sure. Great idea. I usually go for a bit of a hike about now.
Oh, terrific. Do you want your stick?
Stick? What stick? Oh, no, that's not my stick. That's Tom's stick. Here, poor old soul. Right. Let's burn a little shoe leather.
Great.
Tears before bedtime. Pillock, aren't you?
Oh, go boil your head.
tripping across the fields like a 17-year-old land girl?
It had nothing to do with my going for a walk. It was the west wind.
Oh.
Makes my hip play up.
Oh, yes, of course. West wind. Nothing to do with you being an old creaky tub long since bound for the breakers yard.
Oh, bite your bum.
So, what happened? Did young Heathcliff have his way with the decrepit old Miss Havisham?
We went for a walk. He told me one or two interesting things. We had a cup of tea and then I staggered back here.
Oh, how boring. I thought you might be Tessa the D'Aubervilling all over the place.
No, I'll stick to Lucretia Bordering, thank you.
What are you up to?
I can't think what you mean.
Hello? Anyone in?
We've done all those jokes, Geoffrey.
Hello, boy. What's up?
I've just been seeing the old Harvey.
Then you'll want to wash your hands.
He had a rather good idea.
He's going to lobotomize himself?
He thought that because the young person thing was so popular that you should all get together again socially. So we're going to have a fruit cup and an ease up at our place. Good idea, eh?
Oh, with the highlight of the social calendar. I'm sure Nigel Dempster is on red alert even as we speak.
Will there be hard drugs and soft women?
Dad, please.
Is Bob invited?
Oh, yes. Top of the list. I think he's taken a bit of a shine to you, Diana.
Well, we'll be there with bells on. I fancy a bit of rock and roll.
But you're hip.
I know I am. That's why I'll be there.
What? Oh. Oh, I've got it. Play on words. Pun. Hip. Hip.
All right.
Oh, Geoffrey, do stop being such an old woman. Of course it will work. Yes, all right. I'll buy the drink. And if we get rid of Diana, I'll give your charming wife enough paint stripper to keep her eyeballs rolling for a month. Bye-bye, Geoffrey. Cave dwellers. Never mind. If young Bob pulls it off, I'll be a man without a care in the world.
Hello, Harvey. Just came in to put away a file.
Is it really you, Jane?
Oh, yes, Harvey.
Then why are you wearing something from a 50s horror movie?
I'm wearing my best party frock.
Why?
I heard there was going to be a party tonight. Thought you might like an exotic siren on your arm. So, here I am.
Oh, Jane. I have an image to keep up here, Jane. I can't be seen out in public with something that looks like a reject from a Christmas tree.
Harvey?
Yes, Jane?
I've been going through this week's accounts.
Oh, yes?
And I see you made a payment of £500 cash, one funeral Arthur Jones.
Oh, dear old Arthur.
Harvey, Arthur isn't dead.
Not dead? You mean he's recovered? Oh, jolly good.
And I'm not sure the board would fully comprehend £600 residence outing to Emporio Armani, Knightsbridge.
Jane.
Yes, Harvey?
What are you doing this evening, Jane?
Oh, what a surprise! I don't know. Better check my diary.
Yeah, when I finish my exams, I want to travel for a while before I get into a full-time job.
Never work to live, Bob. Always live to work. If you don't find yourself in a job that you don't love with a passion, you'll die young and you'll be miserable. I had a fabulous job. I still managed to be miserable.
That is just a pose, Diana. You just like being contrary.
Can't fool you, can I?
But we can fool everyone else.
Certainly can.
Oh, God, how disgusting.
What's disgusting, dear, apart from your vol au vent?
Well, look at the old witch. She's all over that lovely young man.
Yeah, it's going well, isn't it?
Darling, you'll probably catch something. If you'll excuse me, I must copulate, circulate.
Marion does know what's going on, doesn't she?
After 6 o'clock and a couple of gins, Marion hasn't a clue what's going on.
Hello, Harvey.
Jane, you're touching me.
I know.
Leave it a bit longer. You get your camera ready.
Oh, Jane, they're playing your song. Go on, go and have a singy. Come on then, Jeff.
I'm not sure about all this.
Oh, be a man, Jeffrey.
Yes, that's what Marion's always saying. Actually, I'd rather be a tortoise. Just pull your head into your shell, the whole world goes away.
Camera, Jeffrey.
Hello.
Hi, Marion. Oh, it's a lovely party.
You don't have to talk to the old bat all night, you know.
Oh, but I love talking to Diana.
Young fella like you. What you need is a young woman.
You're 38, Marion. You're twice Bob's age.
At least I'm not 500 times his age. I just thought you might like to spend some time with a real woman.
Well, isn't Diana a real woman?
Of course not. She's got more spare parts than a scooter factory.
Please don't leave my side. I find you desperately attractive.
Hello, I'm back.
Oh, we did miss you.
Have a drink.
Okay, Jeff, I'll do the lights. You go for your light.
I can't do it.
What?
It's immoral.
Yes?
I can't do it.
You're a bag of wet cement, Jeffrey. Give me that. You do the lights. In the cloud. Roll me over, lay me down, and do it again.
Oh, Bob.
Wonderful, wonderful, Bob. That's brilliant, brilliant. Jeff, well done, well done.
Listen, Diana will be out before she can say naughty nookie.
And your sauces now?
You bet. Bob and Diana going hammer and tongs and... You were in there. So who's in the bedroom?